Namaste, yogis, and welcome back on the mat with me. My name is Matt, and I'm going to be your Yin Yoga teacher today. I'm just coming back from Turks and Caicos. I was on a beautiful vacation trip with my wife and baby Milrose, and it felt really amazing. But nonetheless, I'm happy to be back, and thanks for joining me on my first class since I'm back to this fall weather in Canada, which is much colder than Turks and Caicos. So with that being said, today I put together a beautiful Yin Yoga sequence where we're going to be working at nourishing our hearts and small intestine so that we can balance out our Qi energy. So our Qi energy in Chinese medicine is the life energy that circulates throughout our body. And when we can balance the heart and the intestine Qi, we are able to access our innate happiness. So today we're going to dive into that together. All you're going to be needing for today's class is 2 blocks and your yoga mat. And we're just going to start by closing our eyes, sitting up straight as usual. I like to take some deep breath in and out through the nose, calming my mind, slowing down everything around me, and getting settled for this beautiful Yin Yoga class today. So today we're going to be holding poses for 5 minutes each, which will allow us to really access that innate happiness within ourselves. So we're going to take the time, enjoy the practice together, and let's keep breathing in and out. We always forget how the breath is so powerful at making us feel better. And it's in moments like this right now that we can really reconnect with that and realize how important it is to breathe deeply in our day-to-day life and the benefits we get from just doing it, even for such a short time like right now before the class. So when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. And we're going to start our first asana into butterfly position. So I'm going to invite you to bring the sole of your feet together at about 1 feet distance between your groin and your heels. So we're just going to be taking a deep breath here. Big inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, we're going to walk our fingertips forward, rounding the spine, bringing the chin to the chest, and just settling into stillness.
remembering to keep your shoulder blades back and down as to not shrug up into your neck area. So keeping everything relaxed and just allowing your inner groin to open up. And we can slowly raise our upper torso, releasing the tension in our inner groin, taking a beautiful moment here to just notice. So when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to form a T-section with your two blocks, exactly like I'm doing right now. We're going to be going into supported fish. So one block should land in the middle of your spine on your upper back, and then your head will be able to rest on the block that's on top of your mat sideways. So this is a great asana to open up the heart. And again, you can bring the sole of your feet together. So we're going to be turning, facing away from the blocks, and then lowering ourselves down very slowly until the block lands in the middle of our spine. And then we can lower our head on the block that's on top of the mat. So once you're settled into supported fish, just bring your palms to rest. And then allow your shoulders to hang on both sides of the block. Reconnecting with your breath. And letting your heart open up. And when you're ready, you can slowly close your legs, extend them in front of you, and pushing yourself up, coming all the way up to the seated position. And that should feel wonderful. You should feel a lot more openness in your upper back, heart area. So again, I like to take beautiful moments now in between asanas to just relax and transition smoothly between one position to the other. So I'm going to invite you to turn around onto your knees. We can place the blocks aside for now. We're not going to be needing them at the moment. And touching our big toes together, sitting on our heels, we're going to bring our knees to the edges of our mat. And we're going to go into wide knee child's pose. But today we're just going to do it a little differently with a twist. So let's just start in child's pose. So we're going to walk our hands forward, coming all the way down to our forehead. Taking a few breaths here just to relax. And from here, I'm going to invite you to push through your forearms just to create space underneath you. So we're going to be extending our right arm up in the air and above. Big inhale, exhale. We're going to scoop it underneath, lowering ourselves down to our right shoulder and the right side of our head. And we're going to bring the left hand to the low back. So we're doing wide knee child's pose with a twist, as you can see, which will provide us a different sensation, and it feels really good. So we can slowly bring the left hand back to the floor, bringing back the right arm in line in front of us. We can take a moment here. And when you're ready, we're going to extend the left arm up and back in the air. Big inhale. Exhale, scoop it around, lowering ourselves down to the left shoulder and the left side of the head, and bringing the right arm around to our low back. So when you're ready, you can release the right arm, placing it back on your mat, and then creating space to bring back the left arm in line with your mat. And then we're just gonna walk our hands back, pushing ourselves up and closing our knees. So that should feel really good as well. If you want from here, you can take a moment to just lean back on your hands, to stretch the front of your ankles. Balancing on them. And then coming back onto your knees. So we're going to be making our way forward and going onto our bellies, extending our legs behind ourselves, elbows in line with the shoulders and palms down on the floor. We're just going to settle ourselves into Sphinx Pose. So remember to reconnect with your breath. And today we are trying to dive deeply into our innate happiness. So the happiness within ourselves. And from here we can slowly lower our upper torso down, flaring out our elbows, palm one on top of the other, and just bringing our forehead to rest at the back of our palms, releasing the low back and just enjoying this moment of relaxation. So from here we can bring our hands in line with our shoulder, and we're just going to be pushing ourselves up, moving our hips back, and then we can walk our knees forward and turning to come to the seated position on our yoga mat. So from here we're just going to be spreading our legs apart, going into straddle pose. But we're going to do a slight variation, which is called the Dragonfly. So from here, we're just going to be raising the right hand above, big inhale. Exhale, we're going to be scooping it around, and then we can rest our head on our left hand, bracing it on top of our thigh. So this is really nice for the side of the body, as well as the inside of the thighs. And we can slowly release, come back to center, taking one big inhale here. Exhale, we're going to be walking our hands forward, finding our edge, bringing the chin to the chest, and then holding still. So we can slowly walk our fingertips back, raising our upper torso, coming all the way up. Taking a deep breath here. And then big inhale, we're going to start to raise the left arm above and up. Exhale, let's lean over to the right side, supporting our head with the right hand, and then raising the left arm above, opening up the side of our body, which feels wonderful today. And then finding stillness within the position. Can slowly release. Come back to the seated position, and you can bring your legs in if you want. Sitting up straight, just reconnecting with your breath. So for our next asana, we're going to be going into Snail Pose. So if you have any neck problems or neck injuries, I wouldn't recommend you do this asana specifically. But for those of you who have no issues doing it, we're just going to be going down onto our backs, and we're going to be flipping our legs above. So some of you might be able to bring your legs on the floor, your knees beside your head. But if you can't, we're just going to be using our hands to support the back, our low back, so that we keep our legs in line. So let's do this together. So you can do like a little swing. And then, as you can see, I'm just holding my low back, since I'm not flexible enough to bring my legs to the ground yet. Some of you might bring your knees right beside your head, and that's totally okay. And if you can, then you can scoop around. But it's not an easy asana, and one I don't do often enough, so we're going to start working on it together. So don't forget to reconnect with your breath here, as this can be challenging. So you should feel that most of the pressure is on your upper back and not your neck. That's where you want to keep the pressure when you do snail position. You don't want to put the stress on your neck. And as you settle into this, you might be able to touch the floor or bring your knees closer to your head as your spine open up. So just be kind and patient with yourself with this one. And we can bring our legs back over and down very slowly. Taking a little moment here to notice how much that opened up our spine. So with time, you should be able to become a lot more flexible in the snail position. So we're going to be working on that all together throughout the upcoming classes. So from lying down here, we're going to go into a reclined twist, which is a position I really like to do. So we're going to be bringing the left leg around and over the right knee. We're going to be shifting our hips a little bit to the left, and then with the right hand on the outer edge of the left knee, we're going to take one big inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to turn our hips to the right, bring them all the way down to the floor, and then you can extend the left arm to the left side of your mat, and you can look left, keeping the pressure on that left knee with the right hand to help you settle into this reclined twist. So we can slowly uncross our legs, bringing our knees back to center, and then aligning our hips with our legs. So from here we can wiggle our knees left to right, very slowly in a windshield wiper motion, which feels really good for the low back and for the hips itself. And when you're ready, you can cross the right leg over the left knee, making a hook. And then with the left hand on the exterior edge of the right knee, we're going to shift our hips to the right, taking one big inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to turn our hips to the left side of the mat, extending the right arm to the right side and then looking right. Settling into reclined twist on this side this time. So we can slowly uncross our legs, shifting our hips back to the center of our yoga mat, aligning them with our knees. And then again, we can do a slow windshield wiper motion, left to right. And then we're gonna extend our legs in front of us, taking some space on the floor, palms up towards the ceiling. We're gonna go into Savasana, so becoming completely still, releasing any last bit of tension that you might notice within your body and mind. And then taking some deep breath as you relax deeply after today's class. Noticing how much happier you are within yourself that you took the time today to join me on the mat. Noticing that beautiful sense of calmness and peace. And noticing how much more open your body feels and how the energy is moving more freely within yourself. This is the magic of Yin Yoga and why I love it so much. when you're ready, you can either come all the way up to the seated position with me, or stay in Savasana if that feels wonderful for you right now. There is really no rush. So I hope you enjoyed this beautiful Yin Yoga class with me today, and that you feel this balance that we try to achieve within our energy flowing through our heart and intestine. If you were able to access your inner happiness and that you feel much better, well then the goal today was accomplished. So if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to it. It's a great way to support my channel. You can share the classes with friends and family members on social medias. You can invite them to try Yin Yoga for themselves to see if they like it. Or you can even donate to my PayPal account, which is always much appreciated. That's the only way that I support myself through this channel. And lately, thanks a lot for the donations that all of you have been doing. They are going towards buying Mila Rose's new clothes since she outgrew everything we had. So thank you so much for that. So let's close our eyes. Palms at our heart, sitting up straight. We're going to take one big inhale, the biggest inhale you can take. And then one big exhale, releasing any last bit of tension. And this is what concludes today's class. So until next time, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Bye, everyone.